Okay, this is gonna be my first like super vulnerable video. I'm gonna get straight to the point and tell you guys exactly what I was going through, how I fell into it, and how it all started. So to respect your time, I was addicted to Kratom, not the pills or whatever other forms there are. I was addicted to the liquid drink Kratom. It's slightly embarrassing, not for me, because of the people I love, and I don't like to lower myself, but not necessarily because I want to like portray this person, but I know my mom's proud of me and I know my girl's proud of me. So I don't want their friends or their people to look at me as kind of like susceptible to addictions or anything like that. But the unique thing about Kratom is it binds to your dopamine receptors, so it's kind of opioid like. And when I say I was addicted, by the way, I mean hyper functional, productive, wake up 5 a.m., go to the gym, go to work, go to school, dean's list. I'm talking no one would know, because I just get it done. I simply get it done. I think a winner's a winner, and I have a winner's mindset, and winning is just never stopping. Failure is literally only when you stopped trying or you give up. So, um, as the late Kobe Bryant said, failure is a choice. But the whole Kratom thing started because I moved to Florida from Arizona, and at that time I was drinking like kind of routinely. I was working myself out of that habit because I'm a very habitual person. If I attach one addiction to something fun, now it'll kind of bind together. So my drinking thing started when I would play video games and I would hang out with my friend and we'd be on the mic, drink, play 2K. The combination of 2K with alcohol hit so hard. It was just a perfect combination. A lot of people like to smoke and play 2K. So it started there. That's when I had my first drink playing that game. Fast forward 6 months later, I'll talk about my alcohol situation later, but right now we're talking about Kratom. I moved to Florida and I'm not drinking as much anymore because I just kind of like, I know it's bad. And I had got my liver tested and it actually showed some signs of like alcohol use, which was all I needed because I identify as a healthy, fit person and I'm not stupid. I'm a pretty logical person. So as soon as I see there's signs that there's actual damage, I'm out. That was it. So I moved to Florida. I meet this spiritual girl. By the way, spiritual, I have to make a separate video on spiritual girls. They're really interesting. She was semi-spiritual, not the typical super spiritual, doesn't shower, stuff like that, but she had spiritual elements to her. No disrespect to her. She might even be watching. Um, hey, whatever. uh, anyway, she kind of introduced me to it. She introduced me to kava, and then one day I tried kratom, and I just kind of realized that it was like everything kind of turned alive in a weird way. Like it basically was like a enhanced version of life. Like colors were a little bit brighter. My mood was a little bit better. I felt a little bit more socially lubricated. I didn't really realize I was going to form an addiction at that point. When I find something that kind of works, and I looked it up weeks later and there was no actual consequence to it, seemingly, I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. But going back to that initial point of trying it, I tried it one time, let's say on like a Monday, a couple weeks go by, I tried again. Then I'm like, okay, this hit again the same way. Then I tried again the next day. And I started getting into this loop where I would buy it every day. I got to the point where I was actually buying it 3 times a day. It's funny how we kind of wake up one day and decide to change something or change a habit because that's the reason why I changed it. But I want to use this video to kind of let you guys know why it might not be the best idea. The first thing is if you have an addictive personality, you have to be really careful about anything you introduce to your life. And for you, things might not be the best if it's too fun or too good. For example, if you have an addictive personality and every time you go to the beach, let's say you love the beach, you try to go to the beach every day or every weekend, and every time you go, you bring kratom or you bring alcohol with you. That's going to become a routine. So you have to kind of know that about yourself. And maybe you guys already do, but a lot of people don't know how to self-analyze and take a step back and really look at their decisions objectively. I had gotten to the point where I was drinking kratom 3 times a day, and what was happening is I would drink it in the morning, and then I would like feel that little enhanced life, little colorful whatever, kind of like it's like a dopamine release. So it's like it binds to whatever science people you guys already know what I'm talking about. It's not like an opioid, but it kind of acts like one. When I would drink it, I would kind of want to set myself up. So instead of like going about my day and doing things at a 100% level, I'd be at like 90 or 80% because I would want to get it, get under the blanket, just do anything that is also fun. Like basically, if I was gonna go play basketball with my son, I would want to stop and get a tea if I haven't gotten one in the past 3 hours. I kind of was able to time it to where it was like, okay, I won't get another one if I just had one. But there were still times when I got one and then 2 hours pass or 90 minutes pass and I got another one. But I tried every single way to keep doing this habit and to kind of keep myself disciplined as far as, okay, I'm not truly addicted because I can create space between when I drink it, right? So this is me having control. I'm in control of this, right? But what was really happening is every time I had one, I would just think about the next time I was going to get another drink. A lot of people still go to that place and I see them sitting there and I'm sure they have multiple drinks per day or they have some sort of system where they try to budget for it. And because I could afford it, it wasn't like an emergency, but at the same time, it's like it's hijacking my brain, which was really the main issue. It's not really an addiction that seems to have a consequence as far as like a physical consequence, but it's an addiction to where you are constantly thinking about it. So it's zapping your creativity, it's zapping your reward system. Like when I would get off of work, if I didn't have a tea, it felt like work was still on top of me. You know what I mean? And I have like what you would call a mentally stressful job. So when I get off work, I have to really be careful about what habit I do after I get off work. So after I get off work, now that I've taken a step back and realized who I am, what is possible with my personality, my kind of habitual lifestyle, now when I get off work, I'm not even going to get like a Monster or a diet soda. I need to get off work and find a healthy routine to get work off of me. Because if I do that, I'm going to do it every day. It's going to start to feel too good, and my brain's going to start to be like, okay, after work, this is what we do. So I'm not doing that anymore. When you start to associate little things with your reward system and your dopamine, it starts to zap it and it starts to kind of rely on it. That's why you'll see the guy come to work with a Monster every single day. If he doesn't have that Monster with him, his brain is literally thrown off. His brain is like, if you don't have this Monster, bro, we're not going to have a good day. So really be careful about the things you add to your life. Think about, does this activity need to be enhanced? Is the beach not good enough? Do you need to bring weed to the beach too? Some things are not meant to be that good. Like, I'm sure if I ever tried heroin, which I would never, I already know, like, we know that clearly if we try heroin, that's one that you might try it and you might think you can stop. You probably won't be able to because it's gonna feel too good, and then everything else is bland after that. And what you got to do is probably spend years of having your dopamine reset so that taking a walk on the beach is now good again after taking heroin, or going to the gym feels good again. I literally was in the gym working out, confused as to why I have no motivation, no desire to be there, no interest in the workout. And thankfully for me, I have a systematic approach because I kind of got ahead of all this stuff as far as writing down exactly what I'm supposed to do, reps and sets. Not in like a crazy way how dudes have a little book, but just a little note that kind of gives me like a range. And because of that, I was able to keep doing what I normally do and keep working out, but it did not feel the same. Like I didn't want to be in there. Every time I was getting ready to go, I was just like, damn, like, because my brain already knows, bro, we can just go get that liquid, drink that up real quick, and we're good. We don't need to do the gym for dopamine anymore. We don't need to do the gym to feel good. The gym's always been my drug of choice. But then introducing Kratom, there's a quicker way to get the dopamine hit, right? So why the hell would my brain want to go to the gym to feel good when I can just drink a fucking thing of kratom and then I'm good to go. So, and these are the things that happen, man. These are the silent battles that men fight and women fight. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell, like, my kids know I've stopped at that shop to grab tea. They know daddy's getting a tea, literally. And now I've put it on the internet, and 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they're going to watch this video and be like, I do remember you used to go get that tea. Like, that's crazy. And for you guys, for my kids watching, because I know you guys are going to see this, the tea was literally a faster way to get dopamine than doing it the long way. Things that naturally give you dopamine. Going to the gym when you finish the workout, it's like a post workout good feel kind of thing, post-workout high. Taking a cold shower, going to the movies with your friends, going to the beach, spending time in the sun. Those are the things that give you a little dopamine hit, but they're not a super big spike. Those little hits are like right here. When you find something that gives you a spike up here, it becomes dangerous because now this doesn't mean anything to you anymore. This is not going to feel good. This is going to keep lowering. Before, you used to get a nice spike here, be comfortable. Ah, this feels good. But now your body's like, I want that. And it's fast. So it's stronger and it's faster. So why the hell would we go to the gym? Why would we want to go to the beach without it? We need to get the Kratom. We need to get the little thing we like. This can happen with Kratom, energy drinks, vapes, sex. These are all things that you have to temper and manage and put restrictions on yourself. If you want to be the type of person who says, okay, I'm going to get a tea every Monday or every Friday, and you can stick to that, that'll be fine. But if you're not paying attention and you end up routinely getting it, that's where the problem is. It's perfectly fine to go get a tea on a Friday and tell yourself, I do this on Friday. That's not an issue. Now, where the self-discipline comes in is, can you tell yourself you're going to do it on Friday and then wake up on Saturday morning, and then when your mind goes on it, because you're going to remember last night felt good, man, that tea, what the hell is in that thing? That shit feels good. Don't get it again. You can't, because you said Friday. You said you were going to wait until next Friday to get it. But what happens is people don't really have internal conversations and they're kind of floaters and drifters. And then they kind of just end up at the shop again. Like, yo, you want to go back and grab another tea? Yeah. Or, yo, you want to go hit the club? Yeah, I'm down. Because you have no plan. You have no time management. You have no goal. So you got to structure your life. Think about what you're introducing into your life. The day I quit drinking it, I felt like I took back control. I instantly, the moment I decided to stop, I felt self-respect. I took back control. It was a really important thing for me to go through. And due to that, I really believe I understand addiction now on a deeper personal level, because addiction is personal for each person. The way I get addicted to things, I know how I do it now. And I know what to do to make sure that does not happen. And a big part of that is having goals, having a calendar, a to-do list, structure, and putting limitations on the things that feel too damn good. Some things feel too damn good to where I don't want to do it too much. I rather wait. I rather accomplish what I need to for the day, and then later on we can do that. Especially with knowing what I know now, I'm going to add that to all the other little parts of my life. So today I just got done working out. I didn't stop and get a Monster. I wanted to, but I was like, nah, because you work out every day. So what if you get a Monster today and then that loop kind of hits you again tomorrow and you get another Monster? So I'll get a Monster randomly every 3 or 4 days. Sometimes I'll get a Celsius, sometimes I'll get a Diet Coke, and I'll do it like that. Thankfully, I have the discipline when it comes to the gym, success, life, job, everything, but I just didn't realize that people who like routine, structure, and are very habitual, we're very prone to addiction, and we got to really take our time and not introduce random shit into our life. I remember one time I was seeing this girl and she had a vape, and I just grabbed it. Like, that's not for you, bro. You're not that person. There's people who can do that and not really trip about it, no problem. I had a friend one time, he smoked cigarettes. Every time he came over, I'd smoke a cigarette with him. Those things didn't stick, but they could have. That's how people get into that shit, because you're a drifter. You don't have a set goal. You don't have a set way you're going to conduct the night. You're going to the club, you know you have practice or whatever tomorrow morning, put water in the cup. Decide what's going to happen. Play it out in your mind before you get there so you can keep yourself safe. If you don't have a plan, then you're planning to fail. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you like the video and you want to see some more of my content, take a look around. And if nobody else really watches, then at least my kids will. All right, talk to you guys next time.